Now, if you thought that the Kanto YU2 that I reviewed in the previous audio series video with TechX was great, then I've got news for you. And yes, it is pronounced U2, not YU2, so totally my bad. Now yes, I was impressed with the Kanto YU2 because of its compact size and the price point, but there were some trade-offs, especially from the lower end sounds perspective, especially if you're not looking for a sub. So if you're looking for a more functional, bigger sound and more connectivity option, then the Kanto YU4 may be what you need. Now the unboxing process was similar to the Kanto YU2, where other than the speaker themselves, there's the manuals, a remote with batteries, the 3-pin power cord, the speaker wires, a 3.5mm AUX cable, and 8 rubber feet stickers. Now the Kanto YU4 has a similar build and design language as its entry-level sibling, and by that I mean that it is very well built, has a minimalist and a pleasing enclosure design. Now it looks and also feels very premium, and it comes with a similar variety of colors and finishes to the Kanto YU2. And here in Malaysia under TechX website, there is matte black, white and grey, gloss black, red and white, and there's a similar bamboo finish that I reviewed the Kanto YU2, and the one that I have my hands on is in gloss steel. Now from the front, the left and the right speakers looks identical aside from the control knob and a black circle that houses a sensor and the LED indicator light. Now the speaker features a 4-inch Kevlar mid-woofer at the bottom and a 1-inch silk dome tweeter at the top. Now when it comes to the measurements of the speaker spans 4 by 19 by 22 centimeters, which is considered compact and weighs at 3.2 kilos and 2.5 kilos for the active and the passive speakers respectively. Now although it's bigger than the Kanto YU2, this Kanto YU4 is still compact enough to be placed on a desk. Now you may want to consider getting a pair of stands for the optimal height when it comes to the placement and the angle of the speakers towards you. Now you can pick up the Kanto S4 desktop stand for 265 ringgit or the SP9 desktop speaker stand, which comes with a nice cable management in the stand as well, which is priced at 350 ringgit. Now although any compatible stand that fits will do just fine, but this stand looks pretty sweet, doesn't it? Now as you know, this Kanto YU4 is a powered speaker, integrating a Class D amp that kicks out a sizable 70 watts of a total RMS power of 140 watts of peak power. Now it has a frequency response of 60 Hz to 20 kHz, plus minus 6 decibel. So yes, this is surely having a better dynamic range compared to the Kanto YU2. And there's also a rear firing bass reflex port for a better bass response. Now what's cool about the Kanto YU4 compared to the Kanto YU2 is the fact that it offers Bluetooth connectivity via Bluetooth 4.0 with Qualcomm's aptX support. Now it also has a phono preamp built in, which means that you can plug in a turntable directly without adding any other complexity to your audio setup. Now at the back you'll find a plethora of connectivity options where there is the 3.5mm mini jack, which you can use the included cable in the box from Kanto, but I'm using the RCA to AUX cable from the brand called Sync, which is also available in TechX as well. Then there is the RCA left and right port above the AUX port, a sub out to output to an external subwoofer, a phono and a line RCA switcher. Then towards the right you'll find a pair of a digital audio input or Toslink socket that supports up to a 24-bit 96 kHz input. Down there you'll find the right channel out for the speaker wires and a USB Type-A 5-watt charging port. Now unlike the YU2, there's no built-in DAC or any USB input for devices, so if you're looking for a more plug-and-play situation, you can always use the Bluetooth instead. And also different from the YU2 is the control knob. As mentioned earlier, it is now in front, and it's definitely more intuitive and easy and more accessible from the front. And the knob not only acts as a volume control but also a source selector, which could be pushed to select sources between RCA, AUX, Optical 1, Optical 2 and Bluetooth as well. Now alternatively, the included remote gives you a CD player type of control, including tone control, without having you to fiddle with the speaker itself. Now, unlike its smaller sibling, this Kanto YU4 really impresses in the audio department, where the soundstage is fairly wide and very informative, and you will nicely fill a room and also even a small studio like here. Now, things get even better if you use them as a near-field speaker on your desk to get them placed to a very optimal position, especially with the stand, and you will be rewarded with a nice stereo image that is well defined and also centered as well. Now, in terms of the sound signature, the Kanto YU4 is fairly neutral, reminiscent of the YU2, but of course not a studio type of monitor kind of way. Now, the biggest strength of the speaker lives within the mid-range, where it is very well saturated and tends to be on a warmer side of things. And it does a great job when it comes to separating frequency and fairly consistent throughout every music listening, especially on the upper mids or the treble area. So yes, it will sound good in a wide array of music genre except for perhaps very bass heavy tracks, where it is very audible still, and it sounded way better than the Kanto YU2. Now, I'm not saying that the low frequencies are non-existent, because there are very much more on the upper end, and once again, I would recommend adding the sub 8 in case you guys would like to get a further or a punchier bass. But when it comes to my personal music experience, the lower end was really fine for me. Now, in terms of the Bluetooth playback, it was pretty straightforward, and I tested it on my iPhone and Android devices, and in general, keeping in mind the lower quality of Bluetooth connection, I found the overall performance when it comes to Bluetooth was quite level-headed. Now, I said it before and I will reiterate that audio is subjective, and what I like may not be something that you would like when it comes to music listening. So selecting an audio gear will definitely depending on your individual taste when it comes to the exact music listening, and of course your listening environment as well. But with that being said, you can't escape clarity and detail and dynamic range, especially when it comes to the overall separation between the frequency as well as the sound stage, and this Kanto YU4 has very well checked all of those boxes in those categories. Now, while this is not the best way to hear how good a speakers are, but here's a quick sound test that I've recorded using a condenser mic and a preamp as well, so grab your best headphones. So in conclusion, the Kanto YU4 is a great pair of powered bookshelf speakers that is surely a step up from the entry-level Kanto YU2. Now bringing a Bluetooth connectivity, bigger and better sound, a phono preamp built-in, while maintaining a pleasing design and build. Now, as usual, I do love and appreciate the minimalist design even with the control knob in front, which actually adds a more convenient functionality when controlling the speakers. The build quality was overall amazing, and of course, most importantly, the soundstage was very wide as well. Now, overall, it is a great pair of speakers to improve your audio experience for your desk setup and room, but do let me know, are you considering the Kanto YU2 or the YU4? Let me know at the comment section below. Now, since this is the usual monthly audio series collaboration with the great guys from TechX, so yes, you can get the Kanto YU4 over there. And speaking of Kanto YU2, do check out my full video review of that over here if you haven't seen that, and also some cool budget Bluetooth speakers available from TechX over here as well. And I'll see you in my next video.